Onta Jaga Lope Penduta, name Popala singing the Nekara, ne Jidapole, ne Zanello dating you, Bonet Shawa Shes, Tati and Katundingela, Ticolchis desure. Tati Caracesa, Nochi Loju Zongijin, Ina, Zozo Teni, Lozoning is. Or Lozoning is tell Tening is. Gurus in a tiger, chetiga, or Tanjisungo. Each imitate lo zone singing tombo niet, Chewache, Chewache, it's a zone picone, Chewache cursine, or Tanig Kachimuchi Sunshare.
So I'll begin by this quote from the Arya Deva's text, 400 verses, so which says the listener, must have the unbiased, attitudes and intelligent, and then and the interest or the aspirations. So this, I think we touched on this a little bit in the last sessions. So this explains the prerequisites, or that is from the sides of those from the listener or those who are studying dharmas. So in studying dharmas, especially in the Buddhism, so it's very important to apply one's own intelligence. This very the analytical, a mind, as in doing this, in applying this, so it's important to, as it says in these quotations, to have the unbiased, the mental attitude.
So ta Geshe Lama Sena. Or take Sumza tell Chewachi say ni tell a imichive to dig Kichamare. Natoti Nonchine Juante ni no sang lojuji. Sonza no sang lojute Yone yun the Tresotan, Yone yun the ne sonotone ne sambal Gichu Hitango Mato. Ane the Shimbatan chicken digger mares. Teja ane Yune yundani, Yune yund the Nyas Lagois, Yune yund the Teso Matene Yungayomare. Then Yune yund the Teso to Yune and Tesio, Yune yund the Chiawachena, Ane Teso to El Pento, Jimutemba Tempo Deal, or teaching any Chiawachis in any Shujine to the Koichimuyores.
So when we hear that we should, when hearing the teaching from one's spiritual masters, we must always apply our own mind, reasoning mind. So checking out or examining what what you hear, the meaning of what you hear. So now this doesn't mean that to say that we or to indicate that we lack faith or in the words of our spiritual teachers. That means that we don't trust in the words of our spiritual teachers. So, but we have to remember that the very purpose. The purpose of our following or studying the Dharma and practicing Dharma, so it is to have some positive effect on our mind. So that is having some impact on our mind. So that is very important in this process of our learning and in process of practicing meditation and so forth. So therefore, it is important to in order to have some impact on one's mind. So it's important that when we hear or when we Dharma or when we learn about Dharma, that we, as much as possible, we think about it. We trying to remember what it is really saying, and then analyzing the meaning of that. So, which something which we have to do. This process of thinking about remembering the Dharma over and over again. So it is, and then as a result, then we can have some. What we learn, what we practice, will have some effect on our mind.
Teoda tombo lo zo ne ba ge sengite lo zo ne ba mashuna so so lo ju she pa de ge shi go yung go ya. 가르치는 파주와디 지시에 살아 네 소소로 조네 보면나 소소로 디슈르네 네 파주와디 시와텔라 점점 네 소소 대화 면주다 아니 지 소소 고마뉴니 드니 지시에서나 아니 대 말에 선바지다 아니야 대 용수이 말에서네 아니 뜻소파 힘치와드니 이거 제요 다소 힘치 맞지야지 아니 뜻소 제와 세진 손을 줘니 제와 제거나 제동선은 예보요래서 또 시행하듯이 배나 시행하시나 보지 차차와이나 시행하시 제와조디 잘라 아니 예빠 제조네 제와서 와도 요나 매빠 제조네 제와서나 네 디제와테 로조 네비고 네 제와테래요 말이 아니 다 예빠 제조네 지제와 있잖아 아니 예빠를 자쇼 생기도 보지래 매빠 제조네 제와 있잖아 네 매빠가 자쇼 생기지대 마도시 로조네 비고네 제와테 놓고요 말이 대사 예매 지마데 되네니 두문디 렌두문디 드니존네 아니 제와 칭이때 로조네 비고네네 제와 제번 놓고요 그래서 So the one of the qualities that the a proper listener of Dharma should have is the right like the mental attitude, like unbiased mental attitude, or of impartialities. So if we think about why this is impartial mental attitude is so important, and then we can without when we are studying dharmas or when we're hearing about dharmas, say how if instead of having the right unbiased or impartial mental attitudes, so if our mind is, if our belief is already fixed, whether in terms of something right or the wrong, then we cannot really, that is not right. We cannot really then make progress. So and likewise, if when as we hearing the dharmas, and if it doesn't accord with one's own ideas and belief, and then how if we lack this unbiased mental attitude, then because it is in conflict, what you hear about is in conflict with your own belief, your own idea, that then you somehow will show no interest in further interest in learning about that, and or with something if with the not right attitude, then if something we have never heard about before, then somehow we can be very close-minded. We will close our mind because it's something you never consider. So therefore, sometimes we will we will show no interest, and so therefore it's important that not to have, as a listener, not to have these preconceptions that, for example, if we talk about the
the life, the existence of life, before and after. So you should not have the preconception, or you should not study, learn about this idea of the life after life before, both on the base that either the life before and after is a truth, it does exist. You should not have that belief, nor should not think that it doesn't exist. You should already fix your idea. Should not fix that or assume that it doesn't exist. So therefore, it's rather that what does this mean? This unbiased or impartial, mental attitude means to adopt the attitude in the middle attitude, where you don't assume the existence or the non-existence of the life before and after, and that's what it means to us. Okay, so now we continue with the discussion on this Tsong Khapa's three principal aspects of the path. So we finished about that first line, which of the expression of the homage, and so in that line, so we studied about the importance of relying on suitable these spiritual teachers, and so we in that so we briefly discussed about the qualifications of the right of the spiritual teacher, and then also if we refer to more extensive teaching, then there's we learn about the advantages of relying on the spiritual teacher, and as well as but the disadvantages of not relying on the spiritual teacher, and then what does it mean by relying on spiritual teachers. And so then there's also, under this same topic, we should also briefly touch on this how to be a proper students, proper listeners. What does that mean? And so we will leave that and now continue with the next verse.
Tan dodo ina ani ta gishe poto we karisu ursena lame shala chedu chu nila mai rola role singi jore te karisu ursena tani ta lame shala singi te ani soso ne lama tasene loju chine ta ne soso yete yaje ton lame shala juku na lama sumba no ji dr ani nyosle o tindi ge chewa la ro le ge ma to la ma la ne ro le ge ma re se ne o tindi sungu yore.
Okay, so now here is the a quote by the famous Kadamba Geshe Potowa, who said that the whether or not the blessing of this of the guru or of the spiritual teacher is small or the great is not really depending on the actual guru, but on the student or on the recipients, of the receiving of the blessing. So now the meaning of this line is to imply that what is the important is whether how much blessing or the benefit you received from the guru is depends on or lies on yourself. That is on the on putting into practice what the guru instructed.
Pena ngazoti dojo tembas. Dojo tembala ni ta ichi chawdo ki sumba telani loju chenge ane ten kase ichi che kase ki loju chawina koronzo tawdo toji chimi komol nyer tere de gore. Ane ta te ichi ma chenge tini ina ne tele lo sejire de gore. Tenza ne ta ki shila senge te susungi ne pa Lamala ichi kase chewa te samji ane susuga lame sumba te lata lame sumba te drogruwa lame machi se te ane te dom tindi yungu yor ta tso kanga te shulab ndaw sena ta tindi daw jiri mato shen mesa kachi yo maris shilansila.
For like the Lord, kind Lord Buddha, so have taught great many teachings, and so now the who will receive the benefit? Who will get gain the benefit from those teachings? So that is depends on the individuals. So therefore, those individuals or those who studied hard about the Buddha's teaching, and then through studying, and then they gain convictions in the Buddha's teaching, and not only that, if they then followed that their learning into practice, then by doing that, then this follower will then get closer to their ultimate spiritual goal, such as achieving the state of liberations. So as you can see, how the teachings, if you put the teaching into practice, so then you get the benefits, in terms of getting closer to your goal and so forth, and so therefore it is really the benefits of the Buddha's teaching is rest upon yourself. So similarly, when we talk about the receiving blessing from the guru or from spiritual teacher, so again that's also is rest upon yourself, in terms of having like a faith in the gurus, and especially in terms of the following the instruction of the gurus, like the putting, practicing what you're supposed to practice, and to avoiding the things which you are supposed to avoid as according to the guru's instructions. So by doing this, following this instruction into practice, then it determines how much blessings you receive from your guru.
Jesa ne tongone lame sumba tela susu nawana roma sona ne tela lonso kana tong tnizo ma dewache ne shena tong tnima zoche ne tombo chewache ne chewache jitepe keche more mato she ngema na temba chonde de jabi plus chumore ne jabi jasala deno ine yuwa ina ne ta koye go punzu chasu kol yore de ine yo de majune ne ta nase ge jilpa ke mesa saya mesa tani jilpa rodi go didi sala ne momombuji go o temba chonde de ta shesa machina ane nyuwa de go de esene tani shinge yore kashi go ya ne pawe go shiwoji ko denayo ane ko tani zo chitun rowa tel ne pawe kalma ne pawe tren lonja re esene tani shinge jumbo res.
So, so as mentioned earlier, so it's very important to maintain the very impartial mental attitude when you are listening to the teachings, and to try not to as soon as you hear some things and which if you but it's on contrary to your own belief, and then immediately we should not react by just not only we immediately objecting that, criticizing that, but even to the speaker, to the teachers who from whom we receive the teaching, you criticizing that. So rather, it's important to keep the mind impartial and very open-minded, and then to apply it, understand what you hear from the point of view of your intelligent mind. That is very important. So, relating to this, how if we relate to the life story of the historical Shakyamuni Buddha, how Buddha at even though he was born in a royal family, but he left his royal life and then wander into the forests, and where he subject himself to a very hardship. Even the situation where he there was a scarcity of even the finding food and so forth. And then when he was going through that, when in the forest, wandering in the forest, so there were in the town there were some people who actually thought that the why Buddha was doing this is really the indication that he went mad, he went crazy, and whereas some other thought that how this was all because of the result of this ingratitude that Buddha showed to his own father, because how when he lived in his when Buddha is in his royal palace, he was maybe there was many times he was quite he went against the wishes of his father. So there were some people in the town who thought that Buddha now is subject to such hardships because of this, the ingratitude towards his father.
Tandi sunza ni temba tele dune ni ta ni shegana chi dunga la supa zine ta korang pawa tsepe ni senje noji ni tetole trowa shevi shita ni kutani chitun rowa te chitun rowa rama shisa ni sanje ni tsipe tizala ni kanga ni tawa to toji chimbi kumbul ke ni chabata ni korang pawa te do amata zo ni toji chimbi tawe kumbu ke wala te shikale kawo chungo rite inayo tamya kachala ni kun tsukanga tawe kumbu ke ne ni ta zamuli no la ta phame ga tle ye na me de kono ga se ba o teni ji chadi yores.
But in truth, we know that the reason the why Buddha left his royal life, it is to find the solutions for overcoming all the types of sufferings of the suffering of birth, the aging, sickness, and the death, to find the remedy for that, all the cause of the sufferings, and it is to really to benefit, to rescue liberate all sentient beings from the sufferings, including of course his own parents, and then how at the end Buddha was successful in that, finding the true path to this state of liberation. And then how we know then towards the end, at the end, then how when he returned, then Buddha was able to lead many beings to the state of liberations. And it is said that although with some sort of the hardships in the initial stage, but Buddha was also able to lead both his parents to the state of liberation as well.
Nana ngatuta kedo chimbo ne tuni tu bishara se na to ne shonju ji se se na na ta ani ngwala me la ni chechi li ji so ji gri se ya ta an so kanga ne thoma ne gewe shini ji te ne ti ka din le te ne to so chingu yo re sa ne ni ji me na ne ala so to ta she khawu ji ge sar sta she ge samare sarwa.
And as a means to achieve the state of liberations or the complete enlightenment, so we find in the sutra, teachings. So there are the teaching on cultivating the renunciation, like this three principal path, like renunciation, bodhicitta, and the wisdom of realizing emptiness, and then how if we look into the highest yoga, tantric teaching. So there's even mention of the spiritual path to achieve complete enlightenment, even in a single lifetimes. So now all these, both whether in the case of both the path that is mentioned in both sutra and in tantra, in all cases, so it is all these paths are not possible for us to possible without depending on or relying on the spiritual teacher.
That you will somebody sing is legore. Somebody tell that she don't teach it in the water. Teach a tambo santiga, ne wuni tenjigota, Ninju Shunze to Petawa Sante to do such tangore. Teach Shiva ne ta Sambatoncha Tigore.
So now the after that the first line which of paying homage, expression of homage. Now the first the verse. After that, then there's one verse in the text, so which is called as the promise to compose. Promise to compose the text for the compositions by the author. And so in this verse, so there is a brief indication or mentioning of these three, each one of these three principal aspects of the path. And but then there's one line which in the Tibetan version is the last line, but in English you see on the top when it says, I shall explain here to the best of my ability. So that line and clearly indicates the author's pledge to compose this text. So to read that whole verse, it says, I shall explain here to the best of my ability the essential points of all the scriptures of the conqueror, the path acclaimed by all excellent bodhisattvas, the gateway for the fortunate ones aspiring for liberations.
아니 테토페 테토 아니 둥아치 로지다 아니 테네니 텔레 탄데체 아니 로치마 마인바시 아니 드니질라니 년주 som바스네 드니시가 그래서
So this line contained this verse contained the briefly, about this the three principal aspects of the path. So for example, the line which says the essential points of all the scriptures of the conqueror. So this specifically indicates the renunciations. Now, the renunciation. So, what does that mean? It is the feeling or that you or it is the like a aspiration or the desire to seek or to achieve liberations, liberation from cyclic existence or samsaras, which arise, caused by the understanding, by the awareness that within the cyclic existence or these samsaras, how even all the pleasures, even all the marvelous qualities that we will seemingly see within the cyclic existence, how even all these are also in the nature of sufferings, and so therefore the renunciation is pure and it reflects the pure or the very genuine desire and aspirations to achieve a liberation from cyclic existence.
제자네 다 맞을 하 총바다 아니 자질라 수발라 대화시도 네 대고 루시에 무슨 수바 얘기잖아 다 든지고 다 루시에 무슨 수바 될라요 아니 다데 야부진도 말 그사데 소소지고 아니 다 이메지 마셔와지 sembachi mashoji to zoyo ani matobi rujiri dunga rujiri sone ani to zolata ngenju shine to zolani ta cheskru yeme mashoji tndi ta rong til gombaina ani tenda lote ngenju chade gore ani ye seje til gombaina ani ije sengi de chagoyo res
So the renunciations is generated, by recognizing the suffering nature or suffering nature or the shortcomings of all the worldly existence. So, like we worldly existence, so in which we are talking about the shortcoming of in terms of the place or the where we live, or in terms of the conditions, that we find in that place or in that environment, conditions or the resources that we find. So really, with the renunciations, with the renunciations, so you see the suffering natures. So you see we become aware of the impermanence, the nature of all these things, even all the seemingly beauty, pleasures, and all this, the marvels of this. Within this worldly existence, you see that, and so therefore, because these are all these are in suffering in nature or impermanent in nature. So therefore you lose one you lose the attachment, lose the attractions to this worldly existence, but instead of attraction or the attachments, so instead of this, so you having a thought to be free of, to achieve the liberation, to be from this worldly existence. So it is said that when you realize this, recognize the suffering nature of this worldly existence, the existence with respect to oneself, one's own self, then you what this thought that, or this desire to, or the aspiration to achieve liberation, then what we call as it will be called as a renunciation. However, when we generate the same aspirations with regard to other sentient beings, that how they are realizing how they are subject to this such a sufferings, suffering nature, and thereby then you cultivating these aspirations, or to lead them, to free them from the suffering nature. Then what it is called as, then it becomes like what we call as the compassion.
제장에 년주 생에때 자외수라 그때 님비 대하시네. 아니 자외거니 수다 진짜 제동라서 봐 순셔야래. 아니 디거니 힘보래서 그랬다. 힘비가 그 전세 가르세나 대도 노드나네 타와도 도지 준비고 공부시도 숨바래서. 아니 타와도 도지 준비 공부 토발라 태와 취시 강의 좀 아니 다 년주 선바 지마 많이 봐. 열을 전에 ni tel ni jichene ya yongku go iza ni ta sura ka chi ni bi den re esne o tani sungu yores.
So in the verse, so the renunciations is said, described here as the essential points of all the scriptures of the conqueror. So the conqueror here is the Buddha. So like when you say all the scriptures, so we are referring to all the 84,000, the piles of the teachings of the Buddhas. So how these renunciations becomes as an essence of all these scriptures. Now so this we have to understand. From the point from the understanding the fact that how the aim or the goal of all the scriptures is to enable the other being to achieve the last state of liberation from cyclic existence, all the even the complete enlightenment or the omniscient, state of a Buddha. So and so that's the goal, and so therefore and to get to achieve this goal, whether liberation or the omniscient in the mind of a Buddha. So we there's the teachings of we find the teaching of like the great vehicle or the lesser vehicles there, but however the whichever vehicle you follow, so it has to start. It's all based on the basis or the from which you will start the such path of those two vehicles, any of the two vehicles. So is the renunciation. Renunciation is the base. It's a foundation. So without that, so we cannot achieve the ultimate liberation. So therefore, it's called as essential points here.
다 티 우마데네 자세 도만노지 호페 롬스네 다티 쇼주지 센된 거요래 쇼주지 센싱에데네 다 세제 둥아 jinna wala maze pi nije ne tso ne ta dewa du dende chi shombe tini lo ni gu chune ne ta se chen to dunga to chawa to dewa den che ta ngaro ki suji chi kombu to pa sha gu ni suji to pi gu chena ne ta se chen to che ne ane tawa to chi chi ge gu nya bi gu ne ane tini gu lo pi ngongo shu shu yu dengi shu na chi ja ma gi ngongo shu yu le dengi tini gu lo chi la ane shu chu chi sense ne shi gu yo res.
And then the next line in the verse which says, the path acclaimed by all the excellent bodhisattvas. So this specifically indicates the second principal path, which is the bodhicitta, or the awakening or the altruistic mind of enlightenment. So now so normally, we understand the bodhicitta as a wish, a genuine and a spontaneous wish to achieve complete enlightenment in order to benefit all sentient beings. So now however, if the true bodhicittas, then it should be something, it should be arise. It should arise within us like almost like a effortlessly, almost like a spontaneously, and so we're talking about a very very forceful and a very very strong form of such an aspiration or a wish to achieve enlightenment to benefit all sentient beings. So this, how we, in order to cultivate such a strong wish, then we have to. It depends on the cultivating a strong love, which is to say that how to you wanting to bring happiness and the cause of the happiness to all living beings. Because you cannot bear to see all the beings without being deprived of happiness. So and as well as the feeling of compassion, generating a strong compassions by the which you generate by seeing, by being the observing the how all sentient beings are subject to the sufferings, and then you share this, you generate a strong sense of like empathy, which is very strong and genuine sense of empathy, and through that you have the feeling of, so compassion means you to a sense of unbearability of all other beings in being subject to sufferings, and so therefore it is the based on or rooted in this love and compassion, then we generate the what we so call as a bodhicitta, or the awakening mind of enlightenment.
제장아 된다왜 shunju 센데니 자세 담바노치니 아니 뇽래지 조 아니 투토지 털스그러다 아니 다 자고 슈지 자와시 제노치니 니도 손제발라니 다 뇽래 조데 가르 가거든요. 다 shunju 센데를 hlop하지 아니 마지와레스 어떤 정도 아니 대인자 대 수수 질지 시어서나 아니 추나 추소고에나 추티 소고요레 디파 종고에나 디파티 종도고에 제자네 디가 수지지 공부라네 영원히도 아니 더바시 토요레 대자네 뒤도지 좋은 게서레 제자네 tel라네 자세 도만어지 호베 롬스네 네 다리송고요레스. So the bodhicitta which in this verse, so it's the
described as the path acclaimed by all the excellent bodhisattvas, acclaimed or like praised by all the excellent bodhisattvas. So here the term so bodhisattvas, bodhisattvas are those or are one who possess this awakening mind of enlightenment or bodhicittas, and so it is said here that the bodhicitta is really the core practice of the bodhisattvas, and so in fact it is said that that even all the Buddhas have never seen any other than this bodhicitta mind, then any other means to quickly achieving the state of Buddhahood, to benefit all sentient beings. So therefore the bodhicitta is the core or the main practice of the bodhisattvas, and it is by depending on this bodhicitta, then they are able to like a bodhisattva, in order to reach to the complete enlightenment, so they have to accumulate an enormous merit. So it is said that they are by depending on that bodhicitta mind, so they are able to accumulate all the required merit. So likewise, in order to reach to the complete enlightenment, so you have to remove all the obstacles, like purify of all the obstructions. So again, they are able to, by depending on this, the bodhicitta mind, that the bodhisattvas are able to remove this all the obstructions. So therefore, by depending on bodhicitta, so the bodhisattvas are able to quickly reach the complete enlightenment. So therefore, it is said that the bodhicitta is therefore described here as the path acclaimed by all excellent bodhisattvas.
Atati woten kade tandeni no jinjungu te singitenga ane tuni tupigis ane shara shigo yore ne tuni tupigi shara singite ta kade tande no jinjungu se tawado toje cheman denge no jigo longon da bori segor tanga zo tunchen da bolin ro ina tunche tiga longon da bori yesene o tini shigo yore.
And then the wisdom, the third principal aspect of the path, which is the wisdom realizing emptiness. So that is indicated by this line, which says, the gateway for the fortunate ones aspiring for liberations. So, as clearly said that if the liberation, state of liberation is our destinations. So then what is saying here is the wisdom of emptiness is like the road, is like the path to which would take us to that state of liberations.
Tate longon rago imbikan jinse karchina tawado toji chimbi tawala ne donzo pongko gore. Donzo pombate ne tagasipi karse karta tuni tubi loji mashena ane shonjuji senda wanachi mutabi tubi lo ta taniga da ane taniga pa te mewa zotayo mare koraga ta lushu tatoji shematana tenza tuni tubi sharatiga ne danza te mewa zo matana ne tawado toji chimbi kumutatayo mare tenza tuni tubi sharatiga ane tiga nyenrago nyembonrago sonwa isa ane jeza tiga ane tawado tochinchi mindu wala longo nako shiga yores.
So, so the reason why the wisdom of emptiness is described here, or is as the gateway for the fortunate one aspiring for liberations, or as I said here, is like the path or the road. It's like a road to the state of liberations. So it's because because in order to achieve liberations, then we must eliminate these self-graspings. So which is the main, which is the direct, if you like, the opposite to the or is in another word, it is the main obstacles, main obstacle of the obstruction to the state of liberations, and so in order to remedy this, in order to overcome or to remedy this, then we have to employ some means which directly opposes this self-grasping view, or this self-grasping view. And so that is it is said that this wisdom, with the wisdom of emptiness or the selflessness, so that is the direct remedy to these self-graspings. So therefore it is said that how, even though we may have the bodhicitta mind, and we can have the realization of the transitory or the impermanent nature of all things, but however, these without the cultivating this wisdom will be emptiness, then we won't be able to get rid of or to uproot these self-grasping, which is the main obstructions to liberations. So therefore, we can understand the wisdom of emptiness as the gateway for the fortunate ones.
제장아니 ngazola shanung chi khane ji chin no de na khorong ni chi trapa na ji no de gore te no ta ma trapa te tu ni de gore te no trapa zo pa te ni danza tani chogo gore danza danza tani chogo ye za ta no trapa den zo bi lo te mewa zo ba na zo gu ye na no ma trapa no ta ma trapa tu bi lo ji ga ni mewa zo go gore no ta ma trapa tu ni re ta te ma trapa tu bi tu pa te tani tu bi shera te ni tu ni tu bi shera se ni she go gore tani shera te ga ni da te mewa zo go gore
so the within us, so we have whatever the object that we perceive through in our mind, whether it's like an internal or the external objects, whatever we perceive, but there is it appears, it seems that to our mind as if the object exists, from its own sides, from its own right, in its own right. So, however, even though the things, whether it's internal or external things, even though they, to our mind, they appear to have such the existence, independent, such as the self-existence, this like intrinsic, existent self, have an intrinsically existent self, but however in realities, the object are object do not exist that way, and so therefore when we say self-graspings, then we are referring to this within us, this mind, which grasps at the the way the things appear to our mind, which is to have that the intrinsic existent self, to have that kind of mode of existence, independent mode of existence. So that is this self-grasping. And now, in order to destroy this, to eliminate this, so we need to cultivate a mind which see the object just directly in opposing to that self-grasping. So that is the what we call as the view of emptiness. So where the realization that the things things are lacking such a inherently or intrinsically existent self.
Ngenji shunju sen yung topi tawa sambote tsiche shimate tere ta tsi shimate chita niji toki shepa shaas te sambote nya ane ta jermuchi chitung korangla ne jitsu nyome yunchi giwi shinyin zene ane chasung hakugu yorite ine ya ta ngi shingi nga kepa yinse teni nga jan nunga yomare ta koraga kaan shishiji koraga kaan niniji ane ndane ma shega yi sumba chitani do kishepa shasine o chitiki tendo de teniso somba to chares.
And then when it says here, I shall explain here to the best of my abilities. So this is the line which which was said by the Tsong Khapas, who we all know that from his life stories, who have directly received the teaching from the Manjushiris, the wisdom, the manifestation of the wisdom of all the Buddhas. So and so therefore there's no undoubtedly so Tsong Khapa has the clear and the perfect understanding of all things, but yet to when it says the Tsong Khapa says here to the best of my ability, as this is to show the humilities and to show to imply to us that how Tsong Khapa how the author lack any sense of like a pride, self-pride, or and so on, and so this what we call as this verse is generally called as the verse for the sections of the promise, promise for the compositions. So which, as it says, I shall explain here. So this is the explicitly says the promise for the compositions.
Ontate kondishepe ne da ngenju shunju jisen ne toni to bishara sonde ne sususula ti ngode lor chawa che ane tate ma shepa no ni ne shewa to shena wan she samba no ni pune kun pyo shida ne ane nga zo melo ji da ne de jojo ko melo tri.
Okay, so just as we briefly mentioned, talk about these the meaning of these three principal paths, like the renunciation, bodhicitta, and the wisdom of emptiness. So we do this. So we will now we are going to finish this talk with the prayer, So as we say, when we say this prayer, so just generate the strong, prayers and strong wish that may all these path, three principal path, may these arise within us.